Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brian at Whisper Status 74. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the channel. If this is the first time you are seeing me, please consider liking and subscribing. We are real tech for real people. What you're looking at is an LG 77-inch CX OLED versus a 55-inch LG CX OLED. This is kind of a display reveal for me, as the top 77-inch CX is my brand new display for myself. And I opened it last week, or earlier in the week, and there's a lot to talk about in regards to that. But I wanted to do a quick comparison of pixel density, as you have the 55-inch below it and the 77-inch, which is mammoth, actually behind it by quite a bit. We're going to quickly show you that, how far away the panel actually is, and it doesn't even fit in frame. 77 is substantially larger than 75, which I know sounds ridiculous, but trust me, there is a huge difference between the two. We're going to show you quickly where we are. I'm filming off a tripod because I don't have enough room in my room to get them both in frame. I'm in filmmaker mode and warm 3. Same with the display on top, my other CX, which is right there, filmmaker mode. We're going to redo this demo, but I want to show you it in its entirety. Now, for myself personally, I am seeing some banding on my CX. I'm trying to allow it to break in. We'll do a separate video on that, which is why you didn't see an unboxing, as I was very distracted with that and wasn't in a good place. But I want to show you the difference between these two together. We'll run this demo over starting now. This is being filmed in HDR, which is why there isn't any editing. We are in filmmaker mode for both. We are in warm 3 from both. There is no extra dynamic contrast or motion setting is enabled. Now, I bring up the banding in 5% to 15% gray, as a lot of OLEDs do suffer from that. I have to figure out how much I have and if I'll be swapping it out. Either way, I wanted to show you some footage versus ranting about that. The reason I want to do the video also is that I've had a 75-inch 900E down here for years, and I was actually shocked to see the size difference between the 77 and the 75. Width, height, and diagonal measurements, add them all together, and that's the size difference. It is enormous. And I was going to consider the Z9G for down here at 85 inches. Thank God I didn't do that. There isn't enough room, which is why I'm shooting off a tripod. I'm actually sitting pretty far back on my couch. The reason for the video, stupid remote, the reason for the video, though, is pixel density, is more pixels per inch. And what's interesting is the reason why I brought up the 75-inch 900E, excuse me, was that I've been looking at a 55-inch CX for the last 4 or 5 months, also a 49-inch 950H Sony for the last 6 months, and for the last 2 weeks, a Sony A9S Master Series. And the difference in sharp, clear image, it does take you back. When you're watching a 77-inch OLED from pretty close, you know, what I'm trying to show is the, not loss of detail, but there is a cleaner image. It's not a secret. You know, the image on your phone is crystal clear. But it's something to keep in mind and something I want to show you today. See what you guys think on it. When I get things sorted out with the CX, this was supposed to be a big panel reveal, but like I said, seeing some banding on it kind of took me out of that spot. And rather than do videos just based on that, I wanted to show you the both of them. They both look amazing. Keep in mind also, guys, at anything over 65, you will see screen uniformity issues. And things that I didn't see much on the smaller Sony, with the camera kind of normalized there, or the smaller CX, is going to be more evident at 77. Pull it back. What's funny is you're not even seeing the whole screen. This is the Spears and Munsell benchmarking demo disc. Check the description. Support their work. This is an HDR. It's being filmed in HDR. Now, is there detail lost? I'm going to say there isn't detail lost, but the image is going to appear softer. Playing Ghost of Tsushima on the 77-inch, the guy's like 3 feet tall, the size of my kids. And I'm so used to like a crispy, razor sharp image for the last 6 to 7 months with these little tiny TVs in here that it was a little shocking to go back to something so large. And something to keep in mind if you're going to jump from a much smaller display to something huge, that it may throw some of you guys off. That's just the camera. Let the camera kind of get its bearings. Now the aperture on the camera is never lowered. This is what, it just takes a second to adjust. They both pretty much look identical. But I can tell you at 77 inches, I understand why the industry is trying to push for 8K. If you're going to have a display this big and be this close, I can see a little bit of why they're trying to push that. There's no 8K content really, but I guess I can see why. I was comfortably next to a 75-inch 900E for years, but again, I didn't have a bunch of little TVs next to them either. So I'm about 10 feet away. They're both gorgeous. The challenge with the banding too on OLEDs is if it's really visible on 5 to 15%, unfortunately you see it when things are black, which is their strength. So that's going to be their struggle. And if it's severe, it almost acts like dirty screen effect for LEDs. When you pan, you can see columns, and that's something that we can't have. But OLEDs, again, tend to work themselves out. Pixel refresh, we'll see how this one performs. If not, we'll have another 77-inch in here soon, as my heart is set on this display, and we'll do a whole video on why I chose it. But I don't want to bore you with the tech therapy aspect of it yet until I sort it out. I'm also behind on the comments from the last video, so I apologize. Does look stunning, but in gaming, it's huge. About 8 minutes in. It's actually the A9S you see here in the corner, getting the reflection. All right, guys, the video is going to finish up at about 9 or 10 minutes, so I will sign off. You'll see much more on my journey with the LG 77-inch CX. This is a quick display reveal, but having the 55-inch to compare it to, it is interesting, as it's going to appear sharper as it is, again, due to pixel density. But it's a rare treat to have both of them next to each other. These are both mine. Neither one of them are going back. They're not lent to me. These are my own displays. All right, guys. Thank you as always. I will see you in the comments. And again, I really appreciate all of you. The community, your friendship, super important to me. And I know many of you are pulling for me to have the best display out there. And to me, this is the best display going, fully featured, full specs. We want to make sure we have a good panel, which isn't always so easy to discern when you start seeing some uniformity issues. All right, guys, I will talk to you in the comments. I will see you soon. Let me know what you think about pixel density, if it's something you choose differently because of the clearness of a smaller display. Take care.